TIFU by losing €1,000 on tickets and stay, as well as missing my week-long holiday to New York. Hello friends. I am a 26-year-old guy from the Netherlands. In my quarter-century alive, I've never left Europe. While I have seen quite a few countries within, I've felt drawn to the United States for years now, with my last relationship ending the end of last year and me moving back to my home country to work. As a result, I figured there's no time like the present and booked a one-week stay in Queens to finally see the Big Apple, and maybe some surrounding areas in New Jersey. If it was as cool as I thought it'd be, this would certainly only be the first trip of many to explore the USA. However, as I'm writing this while the plane I was supposed to be on is around 2 hours out from landing in JFK, we can safely state it did not go as planned. I take full accountability for everything that happened, and since this is hindsight is 2020, the enjoy the timeline of my idiocy. Few months ago, I planned the trip and get time off from work accordingly, with a total sum of around €1350 for the round trip and the Airbnb. I am set and giddy. I inform my parents that I'm gonna go and they're happy for me. What an adventure. My mom, always the rational one, asks me over the phone if I need any other documents to travel to the States. My dumbass, which has never needed them for continental flights, says, "Number. I don't think so. This is excluding COVID times." Of course. 2 weeks ago, I receive an email from my airline for the flight to the States titled, "Your checklist for New York." Assuming this email would have viable information about practical documents needed, it was only upsells with them asking if I wanted extra leg space, order food, etc. The other emails I received from them did not explicitly mention needing a temporary visa, but they did mention that I should check which documents I need, which led to a general site for checking what's needed when traveling to and from. My incredibly oblivious ass decides to interpret this as me needing nothing else. And all is well. Today, 8:30 a.m., 5h till takeoff, I get on the train towards Schiphol, and whipped out my phone to do my online check-in so I would only need to do luggage at the airport. After fiddling with the passport scanner, it gives me an error. But I figured it might be a bug and don't panic. After all, the online passport scanner took several tries to even give me a result that wasn't, "Please try again." 10:15. 3 hours 15 minutes till takeoff. Schiphol. A big airport for a little country. Excitedly finding my way to the relevant check-in desks, I first try to do my personal check-in at one of their self-service points, only to get the same error. I figured, hey, this is probably just carryover from it being registered that way in their system after what happened in the train. I'll just talk to one of the nice ladies at the desk and all will be well. 11:25. 2h till takeoff. After it being almost my turn to check in, the luggage belt fully broke and made the queue grind to a standstill. However, nervously fiddling with my passport, I asked if I could at least get it checked. I mean, surely there was no real issue, right? Turns out, there was. I needed an ESTA. See, como esta to you as well, lady. What's that? To those not in the know, an ESTA is a really nifty digital certification that has you answering questions such as, are you a drug addict? Do you have terrorist intentions? Are you, perhaps, carrying the bubonic plague on you at this very moment? As I am not really in any of those boxes, I hastily filled in the form and submitted my application. However, the ESTA can take up to 72 to process. On recommendation of the lady at the desk, I went to customer support and asked for potential rebookings. If a flight in a few days meant paying a few $100 for my own lack of research and common sense, as well as shortening my stay, so be it. However, when the lowest price point of just about €1,000 was presented to me. I said, yeah, no thanks. I'll take my chances. Sir, the ESTA can take up to 72 to process. Sure, it could be done in 30 minutes, but there's no guarantee. 30 minutes. Done. Done in 30. 12:05. 1 hour 20 minutes before takeoff. Alas. Poor me. 30 minutes had indeed passed. I frantically checked my ESTA app, but no dice. Processing. The realization had dawned on me that I was most likely not going to be on time for the flight. After all, when you're running on panic logic and 30 minutes were mentioned, and 30 minutes have passed, well, clearly you're out of luck, right? With sunk shoulders, I speedrun the 5 stages of grief and cancelled my Airbnb as I walked back to the train station. At this point you might be screaming at me through your screen, saying, "Healthy Network 4766. Why the hell didn't you just wait until last call? Surely, if there's even a minuscule chance you get the approval done, you take it, right?" To which I say yes. You are absolutely right. Truth be told, I don't know why I gave up when I did. My father informed me there was a speed, emergency ESTA option, which would be guaranteed to process within an hour for an upcharge. But as that website did not offer same-day ESTA approval, what's the point of it then? I guess my brain just went into defeatist mode and got ready to hold the L. 12:25. 1h before takeoff. Sat in the train for the most depressing journey home of my life. I had only left the station 10 minutes ago. I was browsing through my Spotify to put on a song for the mood. Getting just about ready to settle on Pain by 3 Days Grace. I feel it buzz and see a Gmail notification come in. Hello Healthy Network 4766. Your ESTA status has updated. Please check your app. Lo and behold, not carrying a medieval disease or bomb belts under my jacket was indeed enough to win the hearts of the people at the Department of Homeland Security. And I had been approved for travel to the USA for short stays for the next 2 years. 1 hour of time, while not a great stretch by any means of the imagination, is more than enough to get through security and haul ass to your gate if you inform airport staff you're in a hurry. Considering my train had left 10 minutes ago and wouldn't stop until reaching the next station 30 minutes further, I knew it was over. I would not be back on time to reach my flight, while the Airbnb gave me a surprisingly generous 75% reimbursement. I know the 900-odd euros I spent on the tickets are going to be gone for good. I hope the person that I was supposed to sit next to enjoys the extra leg space. Gonna be an awkward conversation at work when I get in on Monday. TL. Dear, I was too ignorant to research the needed travel documents to travel to the USA from Europe. Got a reality check at the airport. Hastily applied and left back home prematurely. Got approved to travel on the way home. Had I waited 10 minutes longer, I'd be 2 hours out from New York now and awkwardly sitting on a wooden ass eager to explore a new continent. Edit. Here is a nice L of a screenshot that shows the reason you should never act on impulse when there's even a small chance you may make it. Whenever planning to visit another country, the first thing you should do, always, is find out what the entry requirements are for your nationality. Getting the required permission can sometimes take months, so it's incredibly important that this be your first consideration. However, not all is lost for you here. You should contact the airline. Their cancellation policy should allow for you to receive some credit for the value of the tickets. Less fees they may have assessed. You won't get cash in hand, but you can at least get some money towards a future ticket. I am both very sorry for you and also want to shake you a little in a, come on, why didn't you wait? As you predicted. Take it as an expensive lesson on both checking what documents you need before and not acting too Quickly, I guess? Do you have the means to still vacation somewhere in Europe you've not been to yet as a consolation? Average European Union citizen when met with the prospect of a visa. Ouch. I feel your pain. I hope you will make another attempt at visiting us once you're done grieving. I made a similar foo during COVID times. I'm in New York, and intended to bring my son to visit my parents in Tokyo. I headed to the airport and somehow expected things to be business as usual. At the check-in counter, I was told that because my son is not a Japanese citizen he needed a visa to enter Japan. It was a special COVID time restriction. I kissed $3,600 goodbye and headed home in defeat. My 8-year-old lectured me the entire way about not having my documents in order. The only thing that confuses me is, why did you get back on a train? Your deadline was whenever the fate closed for the flight, plus security. So, you could have just hung around at the airport? But, hindsight, I guess. I started reading the title and immediately thought, forgotten Esta? Don't blame yourself too much. I used to work at a large travel agency in the Netherlands. We informed the clients before the booking, after the booking and 2 weeks before departure about applying for the ESTA and included a direct link to it on our websites, booking confirmations and all other email communication after booking. You would be surprised about the amount of people who still would not apply because they have a passport, they're not refugees. The Netherlands is in the Schengen zone. Contact your airlines and see if you can get at least the taxes back you paid on the flights. If I recall right, not in the travel industry anymore. There's a law or something for that. Hello my fellow no-treading visa requirements friend. 15 years ago I set off for a business trip from Seattle to India via London. I did read the visa requirements webpage beforehand and I thought they said, no visa required for short-term stay. In fact they said, no short-term stay without required visa. I arrived in Bombay and the immigration official denied me entry. I had to wait a couple of hours and they put me on the return flight straight back to London. So, once in London, I applied for an Indian visa and got it after a week. Normally, airline officials will check that you have all required visas before letting you board the plane. I guess in my case they just didn't. Next time you travel, go to the government website for that country and check the tourist requirements section for your country. I had a very similar situation when I went to Australia for the first time. I've been around 60 plus countries to date, so it's not like I'm like a complete novice. As a US citizen, unless I'm going to some certain third world countries, I've almost never need a visa ahead of time, nor electronic travel authorizations, even when I went to New Zealand. So lo and behold, my check-in to my Australia flight when they asked me for my ETA. I also had no idea WTF they were talking about, but luckily ended up getting it approved online relatively quickly. Since then, I at least do a wiki travel check to see if there's anything I might need to enter. Lol. American here. One of my best friends bought a plane ticket to India and then discovered at the gate his luggage already checked. Oh wait, I need a visa to go to India. Lol. Yes. An American needs to plan ahead and get a proper visa before flying to India. This guy is currently in a PhD program, by the way, so he's the far end of the curve in terms of IQ. In other words, don't worry bro. Happens to the best of us. Good luck on your next trip. You can look forward to eating a slice and a bagel. Not at the same time. And in the meantime, forget about it. Next time, use Sherpa Travel. Tells you everything you need to check before traveling from one country to another. Man, I'm sorry you circa. Wait. Euros? Is that really how you guys say it? Oh, this was painful to read. See no evil.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.